It's time to continue now with the Last of Us Laundromat scene, and I'm going to be working on the materials for the wall section here. And I just wanted to show you that I've got a number of these pieces unwrapped and put into various UV tiles with using the UDIM method. All right, so you can see my UV tiles here, and I'm going to bring that into Substance Painter, as you will see over here. And I had already done the floor. Okay, we did the floor in the last video, and I just went ahead and I did the chairs and the end tables. Now the thing I should tell you about the chairs is that they are arrayed and copied, and so you'll see similar materials on them, and I may change that, or I just may live with that. All right, and I've also gone ahead and I've done some texturing on the wood table, and this wood is just the wood that I used in the apocalyptic classroom scene. All right, I put that on, and I figured I'll go ahead and I'll get a couple of things done, so we're not doing everything. If there's anything that you want to see, you can let me know, and I'll show you that. I've also got the window frames done. All I did there is I took, let's see if I can find them. I've got this iron old. It's just a smart material. I brought that in, all right, and then I added some dirt, and I painted a little bit of dirt, and I added some edge wear on there, and that's done. So sort of like painted metal for that. And what I really want to do now is I want to work on the wall itself, because that's going to take a little while. All right, so we'll do that, and yeah, we'll see where we're at. I'm just using right now just panorama HDRI. Will probably change that later on. Okay, I'm going to refer to my notes over here because there are quite a few layers, and I want to get this the way that I need this. So I want to search for concrete, and we're going to use concrete dusty. All right, so I'm dragging that in, and I'm going to just make some changes. I don't need normal, and I will keep on height, but I won't use very much. I'm going to drop the saturation down a little bit, and we come to technical parameters, and I'm going to change this a little bit. I want the normal intensity. I want to change that. I don't want very much, so I'm going to use 0.07 on that, and the height range, I guess we'll leave, and we'll drop this height position down though. Let's zoom in a bit. Okay, mate. Let's see. Okay, you can see a little bit here. I do want this at 0.02, and I'll put this at 0.03. So there's a little bit of height detail, but not too much. Okay, so that's all I want to do for the moment for that. So I'm going to label this as just concrete. And I'm going to add some color variation here. I'm going to create a fill. I'm actually going to create a folder, and I'm going to call this color variation. That's fine. I'm going to drop that in there. And we're going to have this as, we're going to have a fill, and this first one is going to be just this kind of white color, and that's all I want to do for that. As you can see, it's covered that up. We should get some of the concrete texture coming through underneath it anyhow. A little bit hard to see, but okay, so I've got that one there. All right, so I was going to leave it with that. Then I'm going to create another one, and I'm going to have this as color, and I just want a little bit less white than that. Down a little bit like that. And I'm going to add a black mask and a fill. And in that grayscale, I'm going to choose black and white spots. We'll use black and white spots 3. So that's just put a little bit of discoloration there. And I think I'll just leave the defaults for that. A little mix in there. So there's my second fill layer, and that's fine. And I'm going to do a third fill layer, and let me think of the color. I'm going to use, we're going to use color here, maybe a bit of roughness. Roughness 0.3 is fine. Color, I'm going to choose we'll do that. We'll try that out. All right, we're going to add a black mask and a fill. And here I'm going to use clouds 2. So I'll just recycle that. Clouds 2 in there. You can see that coming in. All right, and I'll set the balance pretty low, 0.16. And the contrast we'll put at 0.01. So I've got that. And I'm going to put this as, let's try this as, try that as screen. Let's try that as overlay. I might just leave it on screen and bring this down. So it's just there. Yeah, around there. Okay, that's good. And that's what I'm going for on that layer there. Okay. Good. All right, it's time to put a little bit of dirt in here. So this is going to be dirt 1. And we're going to use color only on this. And this is going to be somewhat of a dark brown color, because it is dirt. All right, we'll go for that. I'm going to add a black mask and I'm going to add a fill. No, I'm actually going to use, I'm going to try the dirt generator here. All right, so it's gone pretty crazy here. Okay, let's lower this 0.25. And already that's gone back quite a bit. Let's just see. You can see it in the corner there. All right, so just want a little bit, maybe 0.28. And the contrast will go for 0.44. Okay, so it's in the crevices in there. And let's see. Anything else I want to do? I think I'm going to change this. Let's try 0.1. Yeah, it's just faint. Pushing out of there. Okay, cool. So we've got the dirt down. All right, we're going to move on with another layer here, another fill. This is going to be grunge 1. And for this one, I'm going to use height, and we'll drop it down to 0.09, or bring it up to 0.09. We'll add our black mask and our fill. And the first one we're going to do, the first layer in here we're going to use is going to be grunge scratches. All right, so I'm going to use that one. So there, it's in there. Now again, I'm only at 1K resolution. I'm going to be bringing that up soon, but for now, I'm going to, let's try scale of 2, and let's come down to the balance and put the balance at 0.82. So just a little bit of stuff going on there as we build this up. And contrast 0.6, let's say. Let's try 0.6. Okay, so there they are. All right, so there's our grunge scratches. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add another fill layer here. And I'm going to come to the grayscale, and I'm going to use another grunge map. This is going to be, I'll just change it here, grunge map 003, and that's the one there. Okay, see what that's doing? Now it sort of looks a little bit like bubbling paint, a little bit. And that one is going to be a scale of 2. Let's try that and see how it looks. There you go. Spread out a little bit nicer. I'm just going to leave the default values for that one. And what I can do is come in here. If I add a paint and I press X, I can paint out some of that. All right, so let's just decrease the flow. And let's just go around just to, you know, make it so it's not as uniform. Just paint it out here and there. And it's that kind of thing. And here and there. Just moving it around a little bit. All right, cool. Okay, that's great. Now, we've got that. I'm going to save that. I need to get a paint line in here, and so we're going to work on doing that next. So I'm going to create a fill. This is going to have just color, so we'll get the underlying texture in it. And there's going to be a black mask, and it's going to be a paint layer. All right, I'm going to switch to orthographic and snap into this view. Here, let's just rotate and snap into front view. And I'm going to come to my alphas and take a square. Let's come back to here. And I think maybe I'll color pick this something from here and see how that goes. Maybe just a little bit more, a little darker. We'll try that. I can change that later. So come here to paint. The only thing is I want to make sure that I have no jitter on here. We just want to draw a nice straight thing there. Okay. So let's just give this a shot here. Now it's not going all the way across, of course. Oh, it did go all the way across. And that is what I want to do. Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure what color I want to do this, so I'm going to leave it like that. I'll come back to perspective and we'll just have a look at that. Okay. I'm going to save that, and I'm going to call this paint line, and we're going to continue. So let's continue by creating another fill, and this I'm going to call Dirt 2. And I'll come in here, I'll do color and roughness, and the color that I want to get is a sort of a yellow-brown color. Yeah, we'll start with that. And actually the roughness, I'm going to go for a roughness of about 0.68, 0.7, something like that. All right, we'll add not a paint layer. I don't need that. On here I want a black mask, and I want a fill. And in the grayscale, I'm going to use grunge plaster paint damaged. Yeah, grunge plaster damaged. There it is. Okay, this is what I'm getting here. It's all over the place pretty much. So let's put this as a scale of 2 first of all. And let's change the balance down here to 0.18. All right, so now we're getting this. And I will leave the contrast as it is, but I'm going to switch this to overlay. We'll try overlay, and I'm going to drop this down. Yeah, right around there. Right around 50. Okay, now I just want this as sort of grungy spots, and so I'm going to come in here. I'm going to add a paint layer, and I'll go to my brushes, and again I'll choose the dirt brush, and I'm going to drop the flow and just have a look at this, and just okay, I press X so it's black, and just paint some of that out. So just here and there, we're going to have these spots, and it's going to go on the paint layer as well. So just like that. Just have a little bit of it here and there showing through. All right. All right, good enough. Okay, so we've got that going on. That's our Dirt 2. We're going to add another grunge layer. I'm going to call this Grunge 2 as we're building this up nicely. Grunge 2, and we're going to go for, let's do some weird color. Let's use this, and let's use a roughness of 0.8, and we're going to get this sort of, I don't know what you call it, slime green kind of, Sort of that. And I don't want it too, there. Okay, like that. All right. So we're going to add a black mask again, and of course a fill. And I'm going to use grunge map 004. So let's do that. Grunge map 004. There it is. Throw that on. So that's what we get from that. I think I did something similar on the floor for that one. And we'll put this at a scale of not that, 2. All right, so we get these spot-like things. And let's go adjust the balance, 0.3. And for the contrast, we'll leave that at, let's put that at 0. And it's okay, it's not going to stay like this. First of all, we're going to paint a little bit of this. So this is almost like, I don't know, like little mold or oil stains. I'm going to paint some of this out, so I'm going to go for my paintbrush, X, to flow down, and just paint some of this out. So just you get the odd spot here and there. All right, it's just discolored, the odd discolored kind of thing. Okay. And have a bit here and there, and that's it. And just a little bit over here. Well, I'm also going to add in another layer here, another fill. And in the grayscale, I'm going to use grunge map 013. There it is. So I've got that, but I am going to leave the defaults, but bring the scale up to 2, and then put this on subtract. And that will cut away more of this layer underneath this painted grunge map, or actually this one's sort of erasing it, and this one's got it. So we're just getting this little discoloration here and there. And yeah, that's probably it. Okay, we are getting close. Let's save that. I want to do another layer. I'm going to call this one stains. And I'm going to make this one a different color. Let's, actually, what am I doing? I want it to be a fill. Fill called stains, and we're going to use color and roughness. And the roughness I'm going to leave at 0.3, so it's kind of shiny. And the stains are going to be sort of a mid-brown color. So I'm just going to do that. Come over here and darken that up. Nah, something like that. Yeah, okay. We'll try that. And yeah. Black mask, fill, grunge stain spots. Grunge stain spots. That one. Okay, so a little bit more of that kind of oily, mucky stuff. And for this one, we are going to come to, I think I can actually leave it like that. However, we'll come back here and let's try screen for this one. I don't know where you can see that. It gives you this, see that there? The only thing is I don't like that one. I don't like the two side by side. Okay, so I just want to check something. That's right, screen 100%. Now, if I take this down, yeah, no, that's okay. I'm just thinking about, I didn't have this before, if I want to put a blur slope. The blur slope breaks it up. Here, I'll show you with it and without. So just look at this stained area here. See, it's nice and round. The blur slope, and I'll just leave the default values. We can adjust all this, but I just want to do that. And I think now I'm happier with even having those two there. All right. So we got some stains. We're getting very close. And those have very low roughness, so they reflect. So you get these kind of like stained, greasy spots that are kind of shiny. Okay, and now finally a little bit of other damage. So a new fill layer, I'll call this damage. All right, I'm going to use just height for this, and you can put it at whatever you want. I'm going to put it at negative 0.18, and maybe even less than that, but let's add a black mask and a fill. Actually, and we'll paint this. I'm going to add a paint, and now I'm going to come to my alphas, and I'm going to search for what looks like sort of a damage brush. We may have to try a few of these. I just don't know which one to use. I'm going to try this one, and let's just come in here and just click. In fact, let's get rid of that. Let's come up here and switch the resolution to 2K. And try that again. Okay. Let's look at that one. Just you can see that? Okay. And that. Okay, I don't mind that one, just doing that. Do another one down here. Just to have that. I'll just use this a couple of times, and then I'll switch to something else. Just almost anything will do. That's just on the frame. To just scuff this thing up. Okay, let's have a look through here. Drop splatter. Yeah, I do want to try that. I got to see that edge, so I'm just going to come over here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, what else have we got, if anything? Yeah. Okay, that's probably fine. Oh yeah, I wanted to just try this one. Just to drag it and get a little bit of that kind of stuff in there. All right, you can do whatever your heart desires at this point. I'm going to bring this up one more and just do that. Okay, there's not that much height on this. You see, just like that. And then, of course, if you want to, you can come back and get rid of some of it. Do that, and I think that might be a good idea as well. So let's try another one here. Let's do that. And press X and come back here and just tighten it up to get that. All right, and that, my friends, is that. Okay, we've got our damage, and we are done. Okay, so like I say, you know, I had done the chairs before. There's nothing special about those and the tables, but this is what we have now. We're I'll show you with the windows in a moment, but I want to switch to some different lighting. I want to switch to this one, and the reason I switched to that one is because I want to show you from here. You can really see the spots when I move the light. All right, and that's just the way it is on the floor. All right, so I like that one. And I'm just going to try just a couple of different lightings and see what everything is looking like in different lightings. All right, that's my floor and my walls. Now, as far as the windows go, I had just thrown in a texture, just to have it there, the glass, and it's not going to stay like this, but I've got this in just so I could see what this thing looks like. So let's try just another lighting or two. It's nothing too exciting, so I'll work on the glass and what I want to do with that later on. And I think I'll just leave it. All right, so of course we're going to be viewing it down here like this. Roughly, all right, with all the washers and the dryers in there, and the back wall and the ceiling. All right, so I will continue to do some videos on the texturing. I think I'll do some of it on my own as well, so that, just like I did the chairs and that, I'll do, maybe I'll do the texture, the washer, and then show you the dryer, or vice versa, so that we're not doing every little bit, so we can actually get towards the end of the actual project. But that's where we are so far. So thanks very much for watching, and hope to see you in the next video.